So this past year, my birthday was on my day off. And it just so happened, we were living in the Chicago suburbs, the Cubs had a day game. So I pulled my big kid out of daycare, played hooky from the JCC. We drove into the city, found parking, walked to Wrigley Fields. It was awesome. It was incredible to take him to his first game. We got to our seats. In the third inning, that's when you go take a picture with the mascot and get your little certificate that says it's your first baseball game. And after that, I said, Benjamin, you want to get some French fries, cotton candy, whatever you want? Said, no, Dada, I want to go back to our seats and watch the game. Like peanuts, popcorn, hot dog, pizza, Dada, baseball. It's like, okay, fine, let's go. So we sat in our seats and watched every single pitch. And then in the sixth inning, on the scoreboard, they have a new scoreboard in Wrigley. It's a new thing for them. It's very exciting in Chicago, not so exciting here. They played one of those games that they play in the middle of the innings. And they said, this is the top grossing movie of this year. And this was the song that was the top of the charts for the most time this year. And this is the year the iPhone was invented. What year was it? What year was it? 2006. The iPhone was released. The first ones came out in 2006. And do you still have your iPhone from 2006? No, because it's a piece of garbage now. It's a brick. I'd call it a paperweight, but no one knows what a paperweight is. So that doesn't even matter. It's a useless technology. Just 17 years later, you can't even use it. This little thing on my watch is a better computer than most of you had growing up. We are in a moment of radical and wild transformation as a human family. There's a book that's an interesting and a hard read by Rabbi Danny Schiff. The book is called Judaism in a Digital Age. And of the many important ideas he shares, one thing he wrote said that in one day, with your smartphone, you have access to more information in one day than most humans had in their entire lifetimes. We are inundated by information. We are overwhelmed and constantly adapting to a changing world and to changing and new technologies. November 30th, 2022 is when ChatGPT was officially and first launched. It wasn't until February that it really hit its stride in 2023. There were the articles and podcasts in the New York Times. That was in February. And now, it's everywhere. AI technology is in every app on your phone, on every website that you visit, every place that you call, or everywhere. AI is this technology that is rapidly shifting and changing the landscape of what it means to be part of the human family. And it can feel a little overwhelming. Maybe like me, you felt like the ground beneath your feet isn't steady, a little unmoored, not sure where to anchor yourself. We think we figured it out, and then it changes again. We know that there are ethical questions we have to ask, but we don't even know what the ethical questions are yet. We know what's going to change our society and our world, but we don't even know how. But we know we're in this moment of incredible change. And just a little while ago, Judy had done her research in the archives like a responsible person. I did my research on ChatGPT. I said, ChatGPT, what was happening in 1923 when Congregation Kol Ami was founded? I didn't tell about Kol Ami. I figured it wouldn't care too much about that detail. 1923 was also a moment of upheaval and transformation as a human family. It was right after women's suffrage. Labor movements were gaining power and influence in American society. We were in the age, an era of prohibition in America. There were revolts in the Palestinian Mandate that were changing the nature of Jewish and Arab communities in that state. Europe was in the midst of political and social and cultural upheaval. It was the time of the flappers and of joy and celebration, and also getting towards the depression and the crises that would happen in European society. This congregation, too, was founded in this moment of change in American society. Technological innovations, too. ChatGPT told me that the jazz singer came out in 1923, because I think it's what I thought. I think that's what it thought I wanted to hear. It's not when it came out. Anyone know when the jazz singer came out? You get 3 Yom Kippur bonus points. 1927. Close to 23, but 1927, which was the first movie that had sound in it. A complicated movie, we'll discuss that another time. Also in 1923, the Disney Corporation was founded. It wasn't until 1928, that Steamboat Willie, that first Mickey Mouse cartoon, came out. But we also know that that was 100 years ago because every time I open my app to watch Ahsoka, or more likely to watch Bluey, I get the little 100 with the shooting star over the castle. 100 years, and there has been immense and incredible change in this community, in this country, and as a human family. And right now, you all are stuck in the middle of a change because there's a new guy in the bima who keeps talking at you for a while. It's a lot of change, and it can feel like the ground beneath our feet isn't steady. We don't know where to stand. We don't know where the next step will take us. It's unmooring and can be frightening. Change, as Leah is hearing, I imagine, every week in her pastoral care class at HUC, our teachers say that all change is loss. With every change, we lose something. Maybe familiarity or comfort or a sense of self or a sense that we know who we are and where we are and what's next. But right now, we're not in a change. We're in a moment of transition. Change is an instant. Change is on July 1st, there was a new rabbi in the chair downstairs. Change is on November 30th, there was a new technology that got released that we all could play with and wonder about. Transitions take time. Transitions don't happen in an instant. As one of my mentors and teachers, who actually came to meet with our staff, taught us earlier this summer, changes fail because of poorly managed transition. Changes fail because of poorly managed transition. Yes, a change may have occurred, but if we don't do the work to move from one moment to the next carefully and thoughtfully, the change can fail. We've seen that in American society. We've seen what happened when transitions are mismanaged and the loss of self and security that can come from that mistake. There's wisdom in the business world in particular about transition management. Maybe you've encountered the Bridges Institute, William and Susan Bridges. Hank is nodding. Hank knows. All right, good. Thanks, Hank. That's good. When they talk about transition, they draw a little map. You have to follow my fingers for a moment. They say the endings don't just end, the ending peters out. And the beginning doesn't just begin, the beginning starts and grows and grows and grows. But in between is the neutral zone. That's where we sit at this moment. It's where we sit as a human family. We're in the neutral zone. The ending is not over yet, and the new thing hasn't really started. We're just kind of stuck in the middle. And in the middle, the neutral zone can be a dangerous place. In the neutral zone, the Bridges Institute, they say it's like a river that you have to forge. You go from one bank, one shore, to the next, but between them, you have to forge the river. And in the river, if we're not careful, some can drown, some can throw their hands up and give up and just flow away with the current. Some can say, this is too hard, I'm going back. Some will swim across the river, get to the other shore, dance and celebrate, and their job, when they get across, as Rabbi Wolfman told me, is to build tall lifeguard stands, to look across and see who's still stuck in the river, who needs help coming to the other shore. There's work to be done in the neutral zone. And while the neutral zone can be dangerous, the neutral zone is a place of ingenuity and creativity and opportunity. It's where we build and form new things to help us move from one era to the next. And I'm a rabbi, and it's Yom Kippur, so I have Jewish wisdom for this moment too. The rabbis don't talk about the neutral zone. The rabbis, our tradition, we look at our history, and we see the Midbar. We see the desert. When we left one place on our way to the next, we wander for 40 years through the Midbar, through the wilderness, the desert. And the Hebrew is beautiful. The word Midbar is made up of the same letters as the word medaber, which means to speak. In the wilderness itself speaks to us if we listen. In the wilderness, we talk to one another as we wander our 40 years. We talk about who we are, about our fears and our hopes. We talk about who we hope will become. In the Midbar, in the wilderness, that's when the nation of Israel, that's when the Israelites, the people who used to be slaves, who are about to become a mamlechet kohanim, a kingdom of priests, that's where they forged identity. That's where we started to get the ideas, the rules, the precepts for the kind of gracious, loving, embracing community that we're called to create and be as a nation of Israel. And in the Midbar, that's where we get to the mountain. That's where we get to Mount Sinai. That's where we get calling and mission and purpose. We get revelation. Something sacred speaks to us from the heavens in the Midbar. And the Midbar is a scary place. Enemies attack us in the Midbar. We kvetch a lot in the Midbar. But that's where we come to be we. As we wander through that place, that's how we start to figure out who we are. Change is the narrative of our people. We were a desert people, and then we were a slave people, and then we were a nomadic people. We became warriors. We became people of the prophets, people of kings, people of priests. We became people of rabbinic literature and study and curiosity and investigation of the world around us and philosophy and science. We became people of community and of music and of hope and of justice. We are a people who has constantly adapted and changed to the world around us. That's the story of what Reform Judaism is. Reform Judaism was founded in the mid-19th century, this new idea that maybe Judaism and modernity could fit together. That maybe this changing world around us with scientific innovations, with political change, with social upheaval, maybe there was a place for the Jewish community in that world. And how might our liturgy, our prayer, the structures of our community change and adapt to be successful and to plant and to land and grow in that moment? It flourished when it got to America with this new opportunity, a country with a vision of religious pluralism. We had our fits and starts and bumps along the way for sure, but here in this place, we've continued to change and grow, and now it's 2023, and we have to do it again. And it's scary to be in this new technological universe. We don't know. We don't know what it's going to do to Jewish communities. We don't know how we have to adapt and grow and change. We have these beautiful 4K cameras, and is Alex here? Good, don't tell him I said this. In 5 years, they're going to be garbage. Because the world is changing rapidly. But here's what we know. What we know is that in this community, we have tremendous genius. We have the capacity, the ability, the warmth, the intelligence, the love, the dedication, and the care to adapt and grow and change for this new moment. Right now, we're in the neutral zone. We're in the Midbar together. We don't really know where we're going yet. But we can have confidence that just like we have done for centuries and millennia, we will grow and will change and will meet this new moment, holding on to what was as we build towards what will be next. As we move from one shore to the next, we'll bring things along with us. We'll fill our pockets with memories and love and care and the structures of community that have strengthened us for generations. We'll forge the river. We won't throw up our hands and quit. We won't go backwards. We will allow the changing moment to be generative. We'll listen to the words that we hear in the Midbar. We'll speak to one another and forge and form an identity as a people. And then we'll make it to the other side and we'll join hands and walk to the next chapter, and we will dance and we will sing and we will celebrate. As we approach this new year, as we have a fast that is meaningful and reflective and generative, may each of us find our place, bring our genius, and find blessing as we march along this journey together. Gemar Chatima Tova, Shana Tova.
Amen, 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 ve'imru amen, 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 ve'imru amen. Holy One of blessing, wrap us in perfect peace. Guide our steps steadily forward as we go on our way. Bless us with compassion as we walk new paths ahead. Bless us with strength for the journey, and we say Amen. Amen, 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 ve'imru amen, 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 ve'imru amen. May we be protected, may we feel held and free, may we have patience and wisdom as we go on our way. Bless us with the knowing that we are never alone. Bless us with love for the journey, and we say Amen.